Hi, everyone. Welcome to the middle of week 4. I just want to drop a quick note here to hopefully clarify some things about Unit 4 and what is asked of you this week. So to begin with, your Unit 4 discussion board, which is the initial post is due tonight, asks you to think about literature that we've read so far, and to think critically about how studying theme can relate to your daily life. What I would do in this instance is I would think about the works that you have read in this class so far, and think about which ones you really connected to and which ones maybe you see shades of your own life or your own story within. After all, a theme is kind of like the main point or the moral or the lesson. That's a bit reductive in terms of what theme is, but we can think of it as at the starting point as that. Theme is what the author wants you to take away from the story. And generally, stories are some of the most important things that we do as humans, right? They shape our lives, they provide meaning to our lives, they provide narrative. Think about, for instance, religion, right? The stories in the Bible or the Quran, or the Torah, for instance, just in the Western front, are stories that are meant to guide your life in a particular way, right? And literature is in many ways similar, right? Maybe not with the religious overtones, but some people who aren't religious can certainly see meaning and some evidence of what life is all about through the act of reading literature. And so for this specifically, I want you to think about that whole concept. What can theme, the studying of theme in literature, add value? How can it add value to your life? What can it say about your life, right? And the initial response asks you to bring up one of the works of literature to support this answer. And what I would do there is, again, speak to one of these that really you resonated with, that related to you in some way. And you can even share a personal anecdote as to how the story that you read or poem really resonated with you. And again, like all the assignments here, there has, I think been some confusion. You're only working with what we're reading in class. So don't bring anything else out in, we're only working with the pieces of literature that we've read up through Unit 4. All right, so that's the first thing. Obviously, you need to respond to the initial post by tonight, 11:59 p.m., and then respond to 2 of your peers. Specifically, you want to address their choices of story, and their analysis of the theme of that story. Maybe it's a similar one to you. Maybe they chose a similar one to you. Maybe it's just another one that you thought was interesting. The second assignment, the research essay assignment, is the beginning of the work that we will be doing over the next 3 weeks over Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. And you will actually watch the film. You won't read the book. It's an 8-week class. It's a long book. You'll watch the film, which is linked in next week's work. But for this week, you're going to do some research on the author, Harper Lee. And so the main prompt that you're going to be writing about is, who is Harper Lee and how is her life reflected in To Kill a Mockingbird? All right. So necessarily, you're going to need to watch To Kill a Mockingbird before you investigate that. And the link is here, as you see, under topic 1. And so you're going to investigate the life of Harper Lee, and you're going to see how her life is reflected in her creative work, right? Almost universally, authors write what they know, which is their own lives. Even if you're writing science fiction, aspects of your own life, your own experience bleed through into your writing. Otherwise, what's the point, right? In a lot of ways, writers use their craft to understand something about themselves and about the society that they live in, that they grew up in. And that is certainly true of To Kill a Mockingbird and Harper Lee. So you're going to do research. You're going to look up information and make sure that you make it your own writing, right? So Summarize sources where you can, but make sure you give credit if you're borrowing information. Any piece of information that you borrow, you need to give credit for it by citing it properly. Again, if you need help with that, in Unit 1, there is a section for APA formatting in text as well as on the reference page. That's all for this week. Again, next week, we will begin work on an argumentative essay on whether or not you think that To Kill a Mockingbird should be banned in schools, and so that'll be down the pike. But for now, you're going to do 2 assignments, both related to theme and how it relates to your life and to the author's life. So, all right, take care. As always, if you have questions, do not hesitate to email me.